Next, let's look at peracetic acid. Peracetic acid is a common disinfectant primarily used in AERs, those automated endoscope reprocessors, and sometimes used as an environmental disinfectant. If you've worked in a department that uses an AER with peracetic acid and stepped into the endoscope room before, you will likely remember it. Peracetic acid has a sharp, pungent, kind of vinegar-like odor due to the acetic acid component. And exposure to peracetic acid can cause respiratory irritation, eye irritation, skin irritation, headaches, nausea, and the list goes on. The thing is, though, over time, repeated exposure leads to other chronic issues like occupational asthma. That's because peracetic acid, like glutaraldehyde, is a sensitizer, which means that it triggers stronger and stronger reactions to it with continued exposure. So with this one, early and consistent safety measures are very important. What about the numbers around peracetic acid? It's worth noting that OSHA does not list a permissible exposure limit for peracetic acid. However, the ACGIH has recommended a threshold limit value, that TLV, of 0.4 parts per million for a 15-minute interval. For context, that is 10 times smaller than the OSHA short-term 15-minute exposure limit for ethylene oxide. While this recommendation from ACGIH, again, is not legally binding because they're not a regulatory agency, the research still indicates that workers should be protected from exposures to peracetic acid that are greater than 0.4 parts per million. And OSHA recognizes ACGIH TLVs as authoritative values. And so they can use those values to establish the standard of care in the workplace, and then it would then apply to you under the general duty clause.